And now, real life, sex, love, and relationships.
We're in Royal Oak, and we're trying to find out, why do women stay with these bad boys?
I think women like bad boys because they think that they can be the one who can finally change them.
Tell me specifically, what do you do that's so scummy? I mean, give me an example.
It's a facade of sensitivity and understanding, which is scummy in the end when you realize that all these seemingly thoughtful, wonderful things I've said, I just don't mean. I wish I believed the things I said.
You know what, when a man is always too busy for you, he's not answering your calls.
Why is it that women prefer dating the quote-unquote bad guy?
When you're dating a bad boy, you feel like, you know, you're powerful with him because he's bad and he chose you. Okay. You know, and also, it's like you're the one that can change him, as I heard another girl say.
How often you gonna keep paying his bill? How often you gonna bail him out? How often you gonna keep waking up in the middle of the night coming to get this dude? How long you gonna do that?
You like him being dominant. I see women seem to like the bad boy being dominant, but then what happens when she's ready for him to not be dominant?
This sounds like all these professed good girls really are bad girls themselves, and that these bad girls are attracting the bad guys.
It's really multifaceted, I believe, and the psychological piece I think is really big. And even Jessica to say that it's not necessarily self-esteem or psychological piece. If you're saying you want the person to teach you how to behave a certain way, it is a psychological piece, because if you have to be taught to behave a certain way, it's a reflection of your self-esteem.
Society is governed a lot by the media, you know, and whatever the media tell people to do, that's usually what they follow, you know, and I gotta admit, I'm a slave to that as well. But, you know, the females these days, they want to follow after the Trinas and the, you know, the Little Kims and stuff like that, and be freaks and all over the place, and, you know, guys don't want to tolerate that.
That's one of the reasons why I think they can't commit, because they're afraid that what they see every single day is going to get old to them.
But it is very hard to commit. I do have commitment issues, you know, issues myself. But I recognize them and I try to deal with them.
It's not that they don't want to commit, it's just that, and I think this will help the divorce rate if people didn't get so committed so early before they really develop into themselves and do the things that they need to do in life and accomplish their things, their goals, and then look and try to concentrate on finding someone to be with for the rest of their life.
But I find that girls that, you know, that take care of themselves and dress up nice and go out a lot, I mean, they might be more apprehensive to commit to those kind of girls because they think that they will stray more so than the other type of woman.
If you are who you are, because you committed to somebody, you don't lose anything. You still are you.
That's easier said than done, though, Bill. That's really easier said than done. That sounds good in theory.
That's because you got commitment
but when
issues.
it comes down to it, right? But when it comes down to it, and you're dealing with it every day, it's not that easy.
The thing is, in relationships, the very thing that you're wanting in a relationship, you have to actually bring it to the relationship. So if you're wanting commitment, you have to show up as a committed person. You have to walk it, you have to talk it.
Like everything else, the dating scene has gone to the internet. But can you find true love on cyberspace? Let's find out.
Actually, my situation was a little odd. I had knee surgery and I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of the bed for 3 weeks and I was so bored. Like 1 weekend, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so bored, I can't take this. And I saw a commercial that said, you know, try this for 3 days for free. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything else. So I just jumped on and I actually ran into his profile the next day.
Because I had my picture on, but she didn't have hers on her profile. So all I had to go by were her emails that we were sending back and forth. And so I think in retrospect, I don't think that was a great move on my part, but in retrospect it was good because I was not biased by her looks and I could see, okay, here's what I want in a woman.
People are just becoming much more busier in their lives. They have hectic schedules. And so there's not enough time to go on these separate dates, meet someone, decide whether or not you like them or not, and then go home and try it all over again. People exit relationships either through divorce or breakups. It's a nice way to sort of get your feet wet back into the dating scene.
Why am I gonna post a picture of myself on the internet just to like advertise and say, hey, I'm desperate and I'm looking for a date.
Say I go online and I see this young lady I wanted, and I set up a date, we go to the date, and she's got her and her emergency person there, and then somebody else for security purposes there.
Exactly.
It's not really a date. It's like, you know, you get checked out by the feds.
Can the rules be changed in the middle of the game? Can a booty call turn into a relationship? We're in downtown Detroit. Let's find out.
Can a booty call turn into a relationship? Honestly, if I give myself to you in the beginning at first, you may like it, right? Then you're going to expect me to keep up those tactics over and over. No.
Oh, absolutely, because you develop a bond with the person, and sometimes they don't expect that to happen. It just kind of develops, and they go forward.
You know, at some point, you may actually find out that you have something more in common than the sex.
Maybe. It depends. If there's a connection between the two people.
Okay, so can a booty call turn into a relationship? Shad, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah, booty call can turn to a relationship. I mean, you know, if I'm making the call and it's getting answered, then we are already on the same platform.
You're not having sex in a relationship all the time. You might have it a lot, you might have it a little, whatever, but it's not going, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the answer to everything.
Bill?
You're going to have to get to some serious issues.
Bill, what do you think?
I think that, you know, I don't believe that a booty, if you're dealing on those kinds of terms anyway, both of you are not really after a relationship. Somebody's not really after a relationship. And it's back to the mentality. Mostly if a guy is after that, if in the first 2 weeks he's talking about having sex with you or something like that, then it's not about a relationship. He's playing out, flat out.
First 2 minutes he's talking about.
Right. Well, I'm saying,
Bill real easy.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, the booty call. The way you start a relationship is actually, like one of the viewers said, the foundation of the relationship. You start with booty, you end with booty.
Hey, this is Sybil, and we're here revisiting the age-old question, why do men and women cheat? Let's find out.
I think that you might cheat in a relationship because the one isn't being as natural as you should in an intimate situation. You're not sharing as much with your partner as you would, and he goes outside of the relationship to get that.
Women usually cheat in a relationship because they're looking for something that they usually can't find in the man that they already have.
The opportunity arises, it's kind of hard to turn down, so it depends at least on the person and the person's own will.
What happens when, you know, people just cheat without even thinking or even knowing that the other person is cheating just because?
It's just like, you know, women are going to offer men things that their girlfriend isn't going to do for them. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get one of your girls.
A good girlfriend should do everything in the bedroom.
Yeah, but good girls don't do everything, and good girls can't, you know, say.
If you shouldn't have got with that girl,
good
then
girls can't say,
the
me and my
line.
girl about to come, you know, give you an evening of something, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like all kind of stuff. You got to look at things have opened up, you know, as we've gotten older in our society, with technology, whatever. I mean, the whole sexual experience is like opened way up, and there's some wild stuff going on. And you know, and then sometimes, you know, women are still stuck into, you know, Little House on the Prairie type virtues. And you know, men, you know, they looking at some things that look different.
I want to hear what buries those women.
About these men are cheating with other women, and so it's men and women alike. And so if we're going to beat up on people, we beat up on people, not just men and women. And so if you're cheating, like Jessica and the other panelists said, you have your own personal reason. But then the thing is, if you're going to cheat, if you're going to see other people, go into that relationship saying that.
But if everybody's on the same playing field, on the same page, there's nothing wrong with it, you know. But if you're a player, then go ahead and play. And stop getting into committed relationships where it's gonna make a difference. Be a player. There's nothing wrong with being a player unless you're also in a committed relationship also, you know.